Hello and welcome to my first MGTOW Minstrel video. We're going to have a lot of irreverent fun and hopefully open a few eyes along the way. There'll be advice for young men and women if they're wise enough to listen. There'll be jokes, discussions, case studies, predictions, commentaries, definitions. We need to be clear about what we're discussing. And bear in mind, some people still don't even know what MGTOW is, despite its exponential growth in recent years. Just for fun, I'm going to throw in the occasional off-the-wall video as well, so don't forget to subscribe or you may miss out on all the fun. Most importantly, this is not going to be a series of hate-filled diatribes. The MGTOW community has gained a certain reputation for supposedly hating women, but only because the ones who are still in the angry stage are the ones who tend to post the most in the MGTOW forums online. MGTOW Minstrel is intended to buck that trend. I've been through what is commonly referred to as the red pill rage phase, and I've come out the other side. So the only hate speech you'll find on here will be in the comments, and usually the ones made by feminists letting themselves down. So for the record, I most definitely do not hate women. I do hate feminism for what it's done and what it is doing to men and boys, not to mention the damage that it's done to other women, and I make no apologies for that. In this, my first MGTOW Minstrel video, I'm going to start with some definitions of feminism. When I say that I'm anti-feminist, what does that actually mean? Don't believe the propaganda. Anti-feminism does not automatically equate with misogyny. Sometimes, often being an anti-feminist can be a sign of one's love for women and caring for them and their current plight. So for clarification, let's look at some definitions, but before we even go there, let's examine the nature of definitions themselves in the first place, because this is important. Now, there is a book I strongly recommend called Straight and Crooked Thinking by R.H. Thowless. In it, he discusses the importance of words and how they can be used to mislead, to fudge, to obfuscate, great word, and how important it is to be clear about what one is saying. In the book, he gives a fantastic example of this, the two squirrels and the tree. Now, imagine that there's a tree, and imagine that on one side, there's a squirrel. Now imagine that on the other side, there's another squirrel, and they're positioned such that they never ever see each other. They're on opposite sides of the tree all the time. Now, if you get a load of people to answer questions, you can say to them, are the squirrels moving round the tree, or are they moving round each other? Or is the tree rotating and the squirrels are stationary and the entire universe is rotating round the axis of the middle of the tree? Or is it a combination of one or more of these different options? And amusingly, you'll get people that will actually start arguing about it. But if you were to give them a model tree and a cuddly toy of a squirrel, and then give them another one and say, show me what's going on, they will place them either side and they will do this. They will do this. And what that tells you is that the dispute is not about what's going on, but how you label it. The argument is actually about words. That's all. It's not arguing about what's going on. It's concepts. Now, when it comes to feminism, it is slightly different in that the squirrel and tree definitions can vary yet all be true at the same time. But that doesn't apply to definitions of feminism. The conflicting definitions are by nature mutually exclusive. You subscribe to one or the other, but not both. So having examined the nature of how words can be used to manipulate and deceive in the wrong hands, let's look at definitions of feminism, the official dictionary definition one, and the true one, based upon the principle of by their works shall ye know them. So here we go. You ready for this? Right, definitions of feminism. Whenever anyone dares to criticise the misandry which typifies feminism, the standard response is to trot out that old chestnut. Feminism is just about equality. Or feminism is the belief that men and women are equal. I have indeed come across rather idiotic people who quote the dictionary definition as though they're dropping some kind of bombshell, with the corollary that any reasonable person couldn't possibly be against it. Nah. If you're not a feminist, you hate women. If you're not a feminist, then you must be a weak man. If you're not a feminist, you don't believe in equality. Well, I don't believe the definition is accurate. Moreover, given that in the UK, maximum 9% of women actually identify as feminists now, it's clear that feminism is not seen in these terms by the wider population. I'm not buying into that definition. It's absolute nonsense. Therefore, MGTOW Minstrel, yours truly, I'm offering you an alternative definition of feminism better suited to the reality of the movement, based on observation of their own behaviour and their own writings. Ready? Feminism is a female supremacist movement which masquerades as a drive for equality between the sexes. It's characterised by lies, hypocrisy, double standards, half-truths, distortions, false statistics, misandry, delusion, mania, victimhood, entitlement, and sadly in this modern age, infanticide. As such, it is the single most evil development ever to blight the human race in all of history. There. That's a much more accurate definition, don't you think? This, boys and girls, is what I'm against when I say I am anti-feminist.
I'm offended!
There's another vitally important motive behind my work, and it's to assure young men that if they think that something has gone terribly wrong with our society, if they have a suspicion that feminism has been a social catastrophe, if they suspect that there's something terribly wrong with our women, that they are collectively mentally ill compared with 100 years ago, then they're not alone in that thinking. Many, many men are thinking the same way. They're not out of step. They simply see things clearly. Men are afraid to say so because those who do are regularly silenced and shut down.
A man is disagreeing with me. He shouldn't be allowed to do that. Shut him down.
Coming soon in another video, we'll take a look at what MGTOW actually is. But for now, I'd rather these videos be relatively short. So there you have it. Please like, subscribe, share as much as you can. This is so important. Help me get the word out there and get some serious discussion going. It's high time that it happened. And ideally, become a sponsor. If only 70 of you, my fellow MGTOWs, were to pledge just £10 a month, $10 a month, it would enable me to produce these videos full time. So if you like what you see, that's something to consider. Let's go our own ways, guys. Thanks for watching, and look out for more MGTOW Minstrel videos coming soon. Thanks for watching.